Good morning and thank you for joining us for Unscripted on 13 Plus. I'm Carson Courier and you are taking a live look out to the White House this morning where President Donald Trump is expected to have another busy week back in the Oval Office, including rallying Republican congressional support to pass a continuing resolution ahead of Friday's government shutdown deadline. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are in the midst of hammering out a stopgap spending bill that would fund the federal government through September 30th or face a shutdown at the end of the week. House Democrats, meanwhile, are rallying lawmakers to reject the legislation, claiming Republicans are trying to cut Medicare and Medicaid. We'll keep you updated on air and online regarding what comes out of the White House this morning throughout the rest of the day. But first, we do want to go ahead and bring in 13 First Alert meteorologist Dave Spar on your Monday.
Yeah.
Going to be gorgeous out there
Oh
today.
yeah, Carson, you had it all planned out just right. You did things with your dog over the
Yes.
weekend with mountain snows. Maybe you could do that again this weekend because we have some more
Oh.
mountain snows coming our way too.
Okay,
Thinking
love
that
to see
secondary
it.
system is a little colder than the first one will be. Check it out right now. Today is the beautiful day you talked about. We'll have fair weather winds, let's call that, with those winds well in the teens.
Okay.
And it'll be that way into the afternoon. There'll be little drops here and there, but they get the general idea. So what we're dealing with is a sweet Monday and all, but we do have a First Alert action day for Tuesday night. It's mostly Tuesday night and Thursday night. That's the concentration, so it's the First Alert action nights in a way. Stormy end of the week now. We got winds and cold weather with this and that secondary system, and there may be some volatility with that because that's sometimes the other element you got to have, and you got to have some vertical shear. That means basically a traffic jam in the upper atmosphere is what that means. And, basically, watching this go forward here to watch this next system roll on in, actually the first of two. It's going to take it a while. We're looking at freeze at about 8 p.m. You can see it's barely covered much of the real estate. It will do so as we go overnight. Overnight, there you have the coverage area by the Wednesday morning. We're left with a few showers, but improving sky conditions. Here's the longer range forecast for you. Watching this roll on in. The resolution's less on this, but you get the general idea. The cap at the top should be a little bit before 6 a.m. is when most of the activity will be, waning in the afternoon or later in the day, and then another hit for us Thursday night into Friday. This is what I was talking about. This is 1 a.m. on Friday, so it's like the dead of night. You see it's colder, and with that, we're looking for some volatility maybe happening in the atmosphere a lot. That's something to bear some watching, see if that comes together, pulling down those winds. Saturday, do have to note, maybe a few showers still kind of lingering a little bit. Temperature check for you today is at 82. We're not going to do that all week. 70s are also going bye-bye, but they look pretty good for today. Here's a lineup of your 7-day forecast. Down to 56 on Friday. That means more mountain snows.
Yes, exactly. That's perfect. Perfect for that.
Yeah, okay. Want to bundle up, though, going up to the mountains because 62 on Saturday at the desert floor, 75, meanwhile, for Sunday. And there's another system later on next week to get to watch out.
All right, we're all over the place.
Yes, we are.
That time of year.
You got it.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave. And we do want to talk about something that's going to be happening tomorrow. City of Tucson voters are heading to the polls to cast their ballot on Proposition 414. The measure calls for a half-cent sales tax increase to make up for lost state shared revenue. So we have our very own 13 News reporter, Andres Rendon, live with us this morning. Andres, you've been covering this throughout the morning. What exactly do voters need to know about this? What happens if it passes? What happens if it doesn't? What's it looking like?
So come tomorrow, people are going to be deciding on Prop 414. So essentially what it does, because of a lack of state shared revenue, the city says we need to make it up somehow. So they propose a half-cent increase, which will bring it to, I believe we're at 8.7 to a 9.2. What that will do, it would raise $80 million a year, around $800 million for the next 10 years, and it's going to kind of be split up into two sections. It's going to be split up into public safety agencies and their investments, so things like response times, their technology, some of the infrastructure that they need in place, and then the others will also focus on things like community investments, so such as affordable housing and shelter as well, which is obviously a large concern here in the city of Tucson.
Yeah, no, for sure. So tomorrow, people are able to actually head to the polls, cast their votes. This is for just people living in Tucson, correct?
Yes, this is within the city of Tucson because Laurel Valley, they have their own sales tax rate. Even South Tucson, they have their own sales tax rate. So we're really focusing within the city of Tucson limits. So for example, if you're kind of looking on either side of things, let's say the folks that support 414. Those are going to be your folks like the Tucson Police Officers Association, Tucson Firefighters Association, the Mayor and Council. Obviously, public safety agencies are going to really want this to kind of pass through because they're saying they need money. So I spoke with Clayton Black, who was the president of the Tucson Firefighters Association. What he says is that there's kind of several things. One, if it passes, an infill station will be heading to the northwest side. Another big part of it is also recruitment. Around 55% of their staff right now will be eligible for retirement within the next 3 years.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
That's a big problem. So imagine next 3 years, 55% of your staff is going to retire, potentially retire. You can operate with like around 45% of your staff. So recruiting classes, you know, some of those cadets in the academy, you know, they want to try to hopefully get a little bit more traction with them. So far, they only have one class in session. So they want to hopefully, if this passes, get another one, possibly in July as well. So that's what the yes is kind of looking at.
Okay.
On the no side of things, you know, at the end of the day, this is a sales tax increase. None of us really want this, and that's kind of the position that Tucson Metro Chamber is taking with this, saying even though it's a half-cent increase, it's not going to affect groceries. Groceries are exempt, but you're going to be looking at, for example, if you go into the store like Target, for example, and you're not getting groceries, you're kind of getting your everyday goods, you're going to see a little bit more on that. For example, when you buy a car, that's when it's definitely going to show up as well. Because a half a cent, you know, for an everyday purchase is not going to be much. When
For a big purchase.
A big purchase like a car, that could potentially be like what? Tens, maybe hundreds of dollars on top of your bill that you wouldn't have paid if 414 didn't get passed.
Yes. Okay.
They said ultimately, though, you know, it's going to fall on the consumer because whenever there's a tax rate, you know, businesses have to pay more to offset that. They have customers pay a little bit more as well. But also, too, what he also said was that this is going to impact kind of those folks on lower income, fixed incomes as well. Inflation is going up as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already seeing prices increase kind of all over the place. I mean, look at groceries, for example.
Yeah.
So, you know, if everything is going up, how much more will it impact people who are already suffering just on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. And so you spoke to both of these groups, people
Yep.
like the Tucson Police Officers Association. I know you spoke to, I believe, some firefighters as well, talking about how this would impact them, their response times, how important that is, but also just the city talking about how this would impact consumers a little bit more. Do you have a story up right now on our website to see?
Writing that right now.
Love
as we
it,
speak.
love it. In the meantime, though, take a look at this. This is actually TucsonAZ.gov. It explains Proposition 414. It's called the Safe and Vibrant City Proposition. Gives you all the information you need to know, as well as some voting locations, as well as you scroll on down. So,
And then right there on the site too, you can kind of see exactly how they're going to break down everything
Got it.
using that sales tax. So 17.5% for affordable housing. The biggest one right there, again, capital investments for first responders. So things like infill stations, getting that infrastructure up, maybe some of the vehicles that TPD or TFD needs, either service, maybe buying a new one. That's going to go under those big ones right there. So it gives a full breakdown of how that will look like for that proposition if it gets passed.
awesome. Thank you, Andres. Great information.
Thank you
We'd
very
love to
much,
see it.
Carson Curry.
Of course.
I appreciate you. Love
Of
your work.
course. Oh, I love your work. What a sweetheart. All right. So if you do not already have our 13 News mobile app, I would suggest you download it. Definitely really helpful for situations like these as well, or of course, live local late breaking news. All you have to do is scan that QR code right there on your screen. You can customize your alerts. You get notifications on top stories, live coverage, or breaking news. Or you can manually go to your Apple App Store or Google Play App Store and search KOLD. Definitely something that you want at the palm of your hands. That is very helpful. Now, of course, to kind of finish this 13 plus newscast off, take a look. We had to check back in on our eagle friend. So over the weekend, some great news. The third eaglet, the little egg, hatched. So we love to see it. We've actually been watching this for the past couple of weeks. Let's see if we get a little look here. You can see, I believe there's fish or something. Dad brought fish to the mama and babies. So super cute. If you want to go ahead and watch this live stream, feel free. All you have to do is go to friendsofbigbearvalley.org. It is super entertaining. But yes, I wish we could see the little babies here. I believe I can actually, let's see. Are we going to get lucky? Maybe. The shadow. Oh, you can see. Oh my goodness, look at them. They're like little gray fluffs. They are adorable. So yeah, great news there. All 3 babies have survived. They have hatched. And let me kind of exit out of this full screen here. They're actually doing a tally of who gets to name the 3 little eagle babies. So we will keep watching this for you. But again, this is friendsofbigbearvalley.org. You can watch this. It's live throughout the entire evening, morning. It's on all the time. So definitely something that's fun to do if you have the time to do so. Well, thank you so much for watching this episode of Unscripted on 13 Plus. And we will see you right back here tomorrow morning at 9:30. Have a great day and a great start to your work week.